Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at the kindest thing a stranger has done. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was struggling through college, had maybe $30 in my account and really needed gas. I commuted 25 miles to campus every day. I pull in and it's full, but a guy waves me down to pull in behind him. He says, "Hey, I bought more than I needed, so there's about $10 of gas still on there." I almost started crying because that got me almost 4 gallons of gas. It really helped me out in a bad time, and I'm forever grateful. What a nice coincidence though, like they needed it and then the stranger just had extra gas. A stranger bought myself and my ex dinner on Valentine's Day, and the waitress said he was happy to do it. I guess he was a widower, and doing a kind thing was enough to keep him happy through tough times. Thank you, stranger. He just wants to see other couples happy, like don't take each other granted kind of thing. That's really sweet. I was homeless, was thirsty and hungry. I walked into this fast food place at 2 a.m. and sat my bag down. I was dirty and smelled horrible. I asked him if he had anything I could buy for $1, and he said that anything on the menu I wanted. I told him but all I had was $1. He said if I gave him the $1, he would cover the rest of the price. I gave him the $1 and got a double cheeseburger and some fries and a large drink. When he gave me the order, I went to the table, sat down, and when I opened the bag, there was a $50 bill inside of it with a note saying that he hopes it will help me and he hopes I am able to get back on my feet soon and wished me the best in life. It actually brought tears to my eyes. Oh, honestly, so sweet of the guy as well. He probably doesn't even make much because he's working at a fast food place, but he still went out of his way to try to make this man happy. I was totally down on my luck living out of a hotel. I did have a job but not enough money to stay there until my check came. A friend of mine brought me lunch and was telling me they couldn't help me with much, but this is what they had, which was $300 short. I guess we talked about it, but I don't remember. The next thing I know, this guy at the next table is leaving and he tells me not to go until he comes back. His girlfriend/wife stayed behind even though they had paid the bill. He was back in a few minutes and hands me $300. I asked him for his contact information and said he didn't want it back and to keep working to stay off the streets. The man literally stopped my mum and I from becoming homeless. I still have a job and I am in a nice apartment now, but I will always remember that man's generosity. I have tried to help other people as much as I can to pay him back in some way. Oh, like paying it forward. Oh, this is so nice. Oh my gosh, we needed these kind of stories right now, these kind of stories that warm our hearts. Yes, this is what we needed. One day I was stranded in London after visiting my brother. I hate traveling, and I'm from a city that's close but not so busy, so it's a bit of a shock to the system and I get stressed really easily when I'm there. Anyway, I missed my coach back because I missed the train because I'm a piece of crap and have no sense of direction, plus I was rushing and panicking. I couldn't get the next coach because I was out of money and couldn't change the ticket because I'd spent so much on Oyster card getting around for the weekend, and I couldn't get back to my brother's because that required a working Oyster card. At this point, I was really pissed off, worried, and I just wanted to get home. I was outside the coach station and it started raining, and feeling proper sorry for myself, I just slumped into a doorway. Some girl came across the road and asked me what was wrong. She bent down to face me and her face was kind, so I told her everything and just kept crying. She takes out her purse, hands me a $5, tells me to change my ticket and that it's going to be okay. Then she gave me a massive hug and ran back across the road to the cafe she was sat outside. I went back in, changed my ticket and got home. I never even got her name, but I think about her every now and then when I'm really stressed or sad, and remember how a complete stranger reached out to me when I couldn't help myself. I wish this turned into like a love story. Oh my gosh, that's so nice of her. Reading these stories are just so nice, It just makes you feel better for some reason. Like, it makes you want to become a better person as well. About 4 years ago, my family and I were on a road trip to Florida at the Mississippi-Alabama state line. So we got out to take pictures at the sign, like families and tourists tend to do. Spent about 5 minutes there, exchanged some pleasantries with the father-son duo doing the same thing, then went on our way. 15 minutes later on the highway, we're just casually chatting in the car when we hear a honk coming from behind us. I look over and it's a massive white truck. It's the father and son. The son is waving my phone. Apparently I had dropped it at the sign. We both quickly pull over and I get my phone back. What amazes me is that they caught up to us all. We were going 70 to 80 and had a good head start on them. This means they were on a mission to get my phone back to me and gunning it. The best part about it all, it was Christmas Day, so I'll always consider the kind actions as one of my favorite Christmas presents. I don't know why, but I'm just imagining like an action movie, you know? Like a massive truck is just chasing down another car. That was kind of cool. Some odd couple gave my son 50k tickets at the arcade. The husband was dying. This was their last trip and had been collecting tickets for over 10 years. So they just gave it all to a stranger? Oh, that's sweet, but at the same time it's kind of sad. I can understand why they gave it away though, because I feel like if it's just with the wife is just going to look at it and be really, really sad knowing that they always go to the arcade together. Okay, I get it. When I was 16, 17-ish, I was going with my family to New York and it was supposed to be really hot there. I hadn't been on airplanes very often and didn't know I should dress warm, especially on such long flights. I wore a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and forgot to grab my sweatshirt out of my checked bag. It was a night flight and I was freezing trying to sleep. Attendants never came by and I didn't know I could ask for a blanket. I was away from my family next to this older foreign tourist couple and tried to do my best to sleep while I was freezing. I woke up after a few hours and realized I wasn't as cold as I was before. I sat up and saw I had this hand-knitted shawl wrapped around my shoulders. The lady next to me must have seen the quizzical look on my face, as she then says in broken English, "You shake in sleep, I have this," pointing to the shawl. I thanked her profusely and she says, "Go to sleep, he's sleeping," pointing to her husband who had started to rouse. I fell back asleep for the rest of the flight and thanked her a million times more as we were getting off the plane. What a lovely woman. Oh my gosh. Yeah, tiny things like these are just the best, you know. Like, you know, when you need something so small, but you feel like no one can give it to you, and then this happens. Oh, amazing. Last year, we had to take our dog of 17 years to the vet to be put to sleep. It is a small office, so I am sure our bawling was easily heard from our room as we sat with her in final moments. As we were leaving, we had a nice conversation with a lady that happened to be picking up her dog. She offered her condolences, and the vet said I could just come back tomorrow to pay our bill. I called the next day to find out how much I owed and found out that nice lady had paid our bill for us. That is easily the nicest thing a stranger has done for me. Oh my gosh, this makes me sad. 17 years, that's a really long time. That's nice though, like she already knew their hearts are so heavy, so she just paid the bill for them, you know, so they don't have to worry about it anymore. When I was 19, had a flat tire and a kind stranger and his daughter were walking past and the dad stopped to change my flat without any hesitation. After that, I asked my dad to teach me and have helped people change their tires. Oh my gosh, random acts of kindness, just be teaching people nice things, you know, like pay it forward kind of thing. That's good. When I was homeless and living in my truck broke down. There was a guy who lived in a house across the street from where my truck broke down, and he came out and helped me figure out that the alternator had died. Took me to the auto parts store, paid for my new alternator, and they said that it would be the next day before it would get in. He offered to let me spend the night at his house with his family, and I got to shower and a good meal and a place to sleep, and the next day he took me back to the auto parts store to pick up the alternator, helped me install it, and gave me a little bit of cash to send me on my way. He's a good dude, and I hope everything's still going great for him. Same. I hope everything goes great for every one of these nice people. When I was in middle school, I crashed my bike in front of the supermarket. It wasn't bad, but I was shaken up. An older lady pulled over and picked me up and took me back to my home. I don't remember her name. It was so sweet. Aww. That's nice. But why'd you get in a stranger's car? I'm just kidding. But like, that's all I can think about, you know. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.